First, let's say grace. Jackie, would you like to take a knee?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most unsuccessful rebound attempts by celebrities. To keep this list from getting too long, we'll be excluding athletes.
Charlie, I'm scared.
Lindsay, sweetie, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Number 30, Justin Timberlake. Despite being a part of an infamous wardrobe malfunction and an even more infamous relationship, this NSYNC star managed to dodge controversy throughout most of the 2000s. But eventually, it all caught up to him, and it had Timberlake fans saying bye 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 for good.
Just hit me with the truth.
The sentiment is reflected in his newest music, none of which has connected the way you'd expect from such a named talent.
'Cause your lips were made for mine, and my heart could go flatline.
In fact, the only time Timberlake's made headlines the past few years is when he got pulled over for allegedly drinking and driving, spawning a whole internet meme about his world tour.
You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye.
Number 29, Shane Dawson. This YouTuber has always been marred with controversy. From tasteless jokes to questionable company, Shane Dawson's never been in the clear.
Yeah, there's been a lot in the last year. Does everyone know?
Wait, what?
But up until a few years ago, it didn't matter. His compelling docuseries and thorough conspiracy videos put him at the very top of the YouTube hierarchy.
I mean, just look at some of these. It's crazy.
Then it all came crashing down. Dawson's work with contentious figure Jeffree Star broke the camel's back, opening him up to all the controversies he'd been brushing to the side.
Hello? Hi.
Since then, Dawson's issued a few apologies and kept on making videos, but it's clear from the views that most of his audience has already jumped ship. Number 28, David Hasselhoff. Sorry, David, no matter how iconic it may be, no one can make a whole career out of slow-mo running on the beach.
You bought a blank poster?
You'll hate it.
I can decide for myself. I like it.
After Baywatch ended in 2001, the actor's time in Hollywood was left without a life preserver. Despite incredible name recognition, it seemed like people just weren't interested in Hasselhoff unless he was the butt of the joke.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hooray!
He tried to turn things around with a Kardashian-like reality show, but it was embarrassingly canceled after just 2 low-rated episodes. Since then, Hasselhoff has paid the bills with cameos, music, and stints in theater, but nothing near the caliber of his earlier work.
And all of it is yours and mine. And all of it is yours and mine.
Number 27, Maya. You've got to respect any artist with the tenacity to start their own label. Then again, Maya's fall from grace is a perfect example of why it's so difficult.
If ever we get low, don't worry, we'll get more. Get ready.
Once a certified triple threat, Maya's time on her own has turned her career prospects from bad to worse. Instead of a major event, her new releases feel like a drop in the bucket.
We could be high class sitting on a boat. I could show you things you ain't ever seen before.
For what it's worth, Maya tried to rejuvenate interest in her brand with the debut of her alter ego, Maya Lansky. But at this point, there just aren't enough people still listening to care.
It's worth it all, it's worth it all, it's worth it all, it's worth it.
Number 26, Farrah Abraham. The novelty of Teen Mom is that they're, well, teenagers. So when MTV decided to phase out the aging original cast, Farrah Abraham was left without a very strong resume.
Well, aren't you glad that's over with? Yeah, Mom. Yeah, me too.
She attempted to pivot her image with a New York Times bestselling memoir and a strange accompanying album.
Accident to my brain. The anxiety fills my veins.
And then, nothing. Abraham simply couldn't springboard Teen Mom into any kind of long-lasting success. And it's not for a lack of trying. For a while, it felt like she was boarding every reality show that would have her. These days, when you hear about Farrah Abraham, it's usually not for a good reason.
I love it. I love it, Caitlin.
Number 25, Limp Bizkit. Ironically, Limp Bizkit's nu metal sound inspired many of the bands that would replace them.
It's Limp Bizkit, left your town. We downloaded the shockwave for all the ladies in the cave to get your groove on.
You can blame it on any number of reasons: the infamous bandmate feuds, the diminishing music quality, or the failure to adapt to the times. Either way, the fact of the matter is that Limp Bizkit faded hard and fast. They tried to rebound in 2011 with the buzzy album Gold Cobra. But by then, they were too old school for new fans and too different for veterans. While Limp Bizkit has continued to throw new songs at the wall, something tells us nothing will be sticking anytime soon.
Cash, I'll be the first and last, king of new metal from the trash. Hell yeah!
Number 24, 50 Cent. Arguably one of the most prominent rappers of the 2000s, 50 Cent's work in the 2010s left a lot to be desired. Paired with a series of highly publicized lawsuits, and the artist's time in the limelight seemed to fizzle out for good. You don't just have to take our word for it though. The numbers don't lie. The year after his supposed comeback album bombed, 50 Cent filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
We want that deluxe apartment in the sky with a clear view. Instead we get the D's in the rear view.
He spent the last several years slowly rebuilding his brand. But considering how poorly his first attempted revival went, we aren't holding our breath.
When it's war, it will be war to the end. If they ever say we lose, I start it again.
Number 23, Kirk Cameron. This guy went from teen heartthrob to divisive has-been in record time.
Well, not exactly Miami Vice now, are we?
Even though Growing Pains made Kirk Cameron an overnight sensation, his extreme religious views limited the kinds of roles he'd accept. It stalled his career for years, and unfortunately, the projects he did board weren't exactly winners either. 2014's Saving Christmas was supposed to kickstart his second wind in evangelical media. Instead, it's often considered one of the worst movies ever made, period.
You're all wrong.
About what?
About everything you just said.
That, along with some very aggressive political views, have kept Cameron off screens for years now. He'll need more than a Christmas miracle to get back on track now. Number 22, Kanye West. It's genuinely shocking to live in a world where Kanye West just released a new single and no one seems to care.
In the presence of greatness, 'cause right now that has forsaken us.
To be fair though, this is a mess of his own making. While West has never shied away from taboo topics, his anti-Semitic remarks in 2022 proved to be several steps too far. His inflammatory comments cost him sponsorships, friends, and just about every shred of audience goodwill he had left.
This is what Adidas is saying about terminating the partnership immediately now. Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. His recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous.
Later, West tried to shove it all under the rug with a new lead single, Vultures. Based on the lukewarm reception, he won't be reaching his peak again anytime soon.
I don't know who them hoes is, man, they all lying. Brody, tell me who them hoes is, man, they all fine.
Number 21, Chevy Chase. Once an undisputed king of comedy, what happened to this actor's career is no laughing matter.
Dad, you want to ask for something?
Don't touch!
Chevy Chase burnt his capital starring in one too many flops, and by the time the late 2000s rolled around, he was in dire need of a hit. Thankfully, he got one in Community. Chase's turn as the egotistical Pierce Hawthorne put him back in everyone's good graces.
Jeff, it's a pleasure. My name is Pierce Hawthorne, and yes, that is Hawthorne, as in Hawthorne wipes the award-winning moist towelette. I was just gonna ask.
At least until we got wind of his on-set behavior. Chase's behind-the-scenes antics were so abhorrent, Community killed his character off-screen in the middle of season 5. Fittingly, it also ended any chance Chase had at a real career resurgence.
I was never one to hold a grudge, Jeffrey. My father held grudges. I'll always hate him for that. Did you get along with your father?
Number 20, Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby spent most of the 70s and 80s playing good, honest men on TV screens everywhere. After all, you don't get a name like America's Dad for nothing.
Just like toast. I'm telling you, all I had to do was just sit there in a crouch just like Johnny Bench. I didn't.
But just when he was starting to do the same in the 2010s, the other shoe dropped. Over 60 different women stepped forward accusing Cosby of gross sexual indecency across his career.
It's me
saying something about Bill Cosby, who's like a god to everybody in the world.
To say audiences were blindsided would be an understatement. Immediately, several of his awards were revoked, and reruns of his programs, including The Cosby Show, were pulled from syndication. Forget a comeback. Bill Cosby doesn't even have a legacy anymore. Number 19, Steven Seagal. No one is above the law, even an actor who starred in a movie literally called Above the Law. While Steven Seagal's martial arts fight scenes turned him into a bona fide action hero, a series of personal stumbles dimmed the shine on his Hollywood star, alongside diminishing returns on the action front. And it's no surprise Seagal has spent the last 25 years working almost exclusively in low-budget direct-to-DVD flicks.
Yeah, who are you? Girl Scouts of America?
None of them have broken into the mainstream, but that hasn't stopped Seagal from making them. He hasn't had time to do much else on account of all the lawsuits, allegations, and scandals anyways. Number 18, Ray J. This rapper hit his peak in the mid-2000s. His fourth studio album, All I Feel, reached number 7 on the Billboard 200 chart, and its lead single, Sexy Can I, reached number 3 and went platinum.
Sexy can I, just pardon my manners.
Every one of his subsequent singles have failed to chart on the Hot 100, with the exception of I Hit It First, which reached number 51 in 2013. The song makes reference to the adult film Kim Kardashian Superstar, featuring his ex and himself, and released in March of 2007.
I hop in the club and bop a show love, and I don't even put in work.
The 2010s has seen Ray J hosting Oxygen's Bad Girls All-Star Battle and competing on both My Kitchen Rules and Celebrity Big Brother. The latter stint only lasted a week as he left the show after blacking out from tooth pain.
I'm done with Vegas. I hate Vegas. Never again.
Number 17, Denise Richards. This ex-fashion model was quite a big name in the late 90s and early 2000s. She starred in the likes of Starship Troopers and The World Is Not Enough before marrying Charlie Sheen.
Are you here for a reason? Or are you just hoping for a glimmer?
They were married from 2002 to 2006, and their messy divorce kept Richards in the spotlight. Despite some valiant efforts, Richards hasn't been able to reclaim her past glory. She has starred in many B-movies and a few short-lived TV shows, as well as being a regular on soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful.
No wonder he was looking for something better. What the hell is wrong with you?
Like many attempting a comeback, she's also transitioned into reality TV, joining the main cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I've never experienced this with you.
Number 16, Ciara. This R&B artist was huge throughout the 2000s and early 2010s, with 4 of her first 5 albums peaking in the top 5. Her second, Ciara The Evolution, reached number 1 in 2006. Her singles also performed well. Goodies peaked at number 1 in 2004, and both 1 2 Step and O reached number 2. Following Love, Sex, Magic in 2009, none of her singles have breached the top 10. She's remained in the spotlight thanks to public relationships with rapper Future and NFL player Russell Wilson, but her music career isn't what it once was. Her last 2 albums, Jackie and Beauty Marks, reached number 17 and number 87 respectively on the Billboard 200.
Okay, I've got to change something up here.
Number 15, Mischa Barton. Entertainment Weekly named Mischa Barton the It Girl of 2003, owing to her work as Marissa Cooper on The OC. The show ran for 4 seasons between 2003 and 2007. Barton starred in the first 3 before her character was killed off in the 3rd season finale.
Ryan, look out!
Ever since then, Barton has struggled to retain her It Girl status. She's appeared in many independent films and competed on Dancing with the Stars in 2016.
It's Potter time!
However, she was just the second person eliminated. She too eventually went the reality TV route and joined the cast of The Hills' New Beginnings in 2019.
So I thought, okay, I'll take this seriously now and think about it.
Number 14, Iggy Azalea. This Australian singer burst onto the scene in history-making fashion, literally. She became just the second artist in history to hold the top 2 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 with their debut entries on the chart in 2014. The Beatles did it in 1964 with I Wanna Hold Your Hand and She Loves You, and Azalea poetically matched it 50 years later with Fancy and Problem.
And no time I'll be forgetting all about you.
She was a guest artist on the latter, but the record still counted. Unfortunately, her star has since fallen from grace. In My Defense reached number 50, a far cry from the new classic's peak at number 3. Her last single to peak in the top 5 was Black Widow in 2014, with none of the singles from In My Defense even breaching the top 50.
Like it'll last forever, but now forever ain't as long.
Number 13, Jennifer Lopez. Careers can live or die based on a comeback album. Sadly, J-Lo swung and missed bad. Her attempted return to form, called This Is Me Now, marked the lowest debut of any of Lopez's studio albums, ever. To make matters worse, the songs were supposed to tie into a multimedia project, including a feature film and a nationwide tour. At least the movie came out.
I learned the hard way. Not all love stories have a happy ending.
That's more than we can say for the tour, which was quietly cancelled. It's a good thing Lopez has been consistently starring in Netflix films, because on the music front, she's all but dead in the water. Number 12, Ashlee Simpson. The younger sister of Jessica Simpson made some waves in the mid-2000s with her albums Autobiography and I Am Me. Both reached number 1 on the Billboard 200, both were certified platinum, with Autobiography going 3 times platinum, and Pieces of Me proved a big hit, peaking at number 5 on the Hot 100.
When I hit that bottom crash, you're all I had.
Unfortunately, Simpson hasn't released any music as a solo artist since 2008, aside from a non-album single in 2012 that failed to chart. She's now part of a duo called Ashlee and Evan with her husband Evan Ross, and they released an EP in 2018 that failed to generate much discussion.
You're asking me if I trust you. I do.
They also launched an e-reality show, but that only lasted for 6 episodes.
Basically, the solution was in front of me the whole time.
Number 11, Fergie. Like many on this list, Fergie was huge in the 2000s. She was obviously a big part of the Black Eyed Peas, but she also saw success as a solo artist with the Duchess. Released in 2006, the Duchess reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified 5 times platinum. The album also spawned 3 number 1 singles, London Bridge, Glamorous, and Big Girls Don't Cry, and 1 number 2 with Fergalicious.
Fergalicious definition, make them boys go loco.
After about a decade away, aside from a song on the Great Gatsby soundtrack, Fergie returned with Double Dutchess. It wasn't nearly as successful. It only reached number 19 and failed to generate any successful singles. The most successful, LA Love, La La, peaked at number 27. Number 10, Paris Hilton. Despite coming from an uber-successful and unfathomably rich family, Paris Hilton made a name for herself through modeling and reality TV.
Will you ever worry me like that again?
She notably starred on The Simple Life alongside Nicole Richie from 2003 to 2007. While her dumb blonde, spoiled persona was obviously played up for the camera, the show made her insanely famous. Most of that fame came at her own expense, but she clearly didn't care. And while she's still making bank through her numerous business ventures today, Hilton's public spotlight has faded. She's dabbled in DJing in recent years, and went back to reality TV with Viceland's Hollywood Love Story, but that came and went. She was also the subject of a YouTube original documentary titled This Is Paris in 2020.
I like animals more than people.
Number 9, Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice became a worldwide megastar with Ice Ice Baby. The song was an enormous hit, peaking at number 1 in 8 different countries, including the United States and Zimbabwe. In fact, it made history by becoming the first hip-hop single to reach the top of the Billboard Hot 100.
Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
Ice took a break from music in 1993, but when he returned, his subsequent records received little fanfare. He did find success with his DIY network show, The Vanilla Ice Project, thanks to his experience in home improvement.
Some people got no reason.
In 2011, he released his comeback album, WTF, Wisdom, Tenacity, and Focus. It was not a success, and Vanilla Ice hasn't charted on the Hot 100 as a lead artist since Cool as Ice hit number 81 in 1991.
Only in Vegas, baby.
Number 8. Katherine Heigl. Another big 2000s star, Katherine Heigl first gained some fame in 1999 starring as Isabel Evans on the WB's Roswell. She rode this role to greater success, including her Emmy-winning performance on Grey's Anatomy and movies like Knocked Up and 27 Dresses.
No, I just don't.
That time would prove the height of her career. She's since starred in many movies, but none of them were very popular or that good. Most of Heigl's work can be found on television. The mid to late 2010s saw her star in State of Affairs, Doubt, and Suits. The first two were cancelled after just one season, and her role in Suits lasted 2.
I'm upset because if you have any issue with me, you should come to me and not go around me.
Heigl is still receiving steady work, but the recent TV comeback fails to match her Grey's Anatomy heights.
There is nothing to talk about. Do you understand me? There is nothing to discuss.
Number 7. Guns N' Roses. This hard rock band was once one of the biggest in the world, with their first 4 studio albums reaching either number 1 or number 2 and selling over 5 million copies each in the United States alone.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
Things slowed down with 1993's The Spaghetti Incident, as it only reached number 4 and ended the band's multi-platinum run. It would be 15 years until the band returned, and the results were underwhelming. On November 23, 2008, the world finally received Chinese Democracy, which received middling reviews and sold only 1 million copies. The long-awaited comeback was completely dead in the water. Luckily, both Slash and Duff McKagan saved the band by touring with Axl and Company on the incredibly successful Not in This Lifetime tour. Number 6. Lil Kim. This New York rapper got her start through the Notorious B.I.G. by joining his group, Junior Mafia. This led to a highly successful solo career throughout the late 90s and 2000s, which included 3 top 10 albums. 2001 also saw her singing Lady Marmalade, the highly successful single from Moulin Rouge. But like Guns N' Roses, Lil Kim took a major hiatus. There was a 14-year break between 2005's The Naked Truth and 2019's 9. And the wait was not really worth it, according to most accounts. The album received mixed reviews from critics and performed poorly, failing to land on any major charts or generate any notable singles. Number 5. Tara Reid. This American actress had quite a respectable movie career throughout the late 90s and early 2000s. She appeared as Bunny in The Big Lebowski and went on to star as Vicky in the American Pie franchise.
I've had one. I think.
Rounding out her filmography were works like Josie and the Pussycats, My Boss's Daughter, Van Wilder, and a stint on Scrubs. Something happened around 2005 and Reid just disappeared.
You know, you should always try to go to the bathroom before you leave the house, even if you don't have to, 'cause...
Not completely, as she was still in things, but the hits had certainly dried up. Reid then tried her hand at reality TV, including Celebrity Big Brother and her own show Terradice, before settling on the B-movie turned cult Sharknado series. Number 4. Ellen DeGeneres. There was once a time when Ellen DeGeneres was the biggest name in entertainment. Her historic coming out as a lesbian both paved trails and ignited controversy, and her follow-up talk show proved enormously successful.
And why are you just getting this?
While coming out nearly tanked her career, it was the talk show that ultimately did. In 2020, BuzzFeed reported through anonymous employees that working for Ellen was akin to hell on earth, complete with harassment and racist comments.
Just one question, just what else does he want? I don't know what you're telling him, but just ask him what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
While her show wasn't canceled, the 18th season premiere faced significant backlash. Outlets criticized her opening monologue, and the YouTube video's like-to-dislike ratio skews heavily towards the latter. It was also reported that the show's premiere week viewership was down 30% from last year.
It's all love. Yeah. That's all that's real is love. That's the truth.
Number 3. Ja Rule. This rapper released a string of successful albums throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, 6 of which peaked within the top 10 on the Billboard 200. These include Rule 336 and Pain is Love, both of which reached number 1, and both of which were certified multi-platinum. However, Ja Rule has subsequently faced numerous legal issues throughout his career, including a 2-year prison sentence in 2010 and another 28-month sentence the following year.
Here I am in a bad situation 10 years later after all the things that I've done, all the success that I've had.
He was released in 2013 and just 3 years later started the infamous Fyre Media Inc. It could have been a huge business and public comeback, but the Fyre Festival proved so disastrous that he faced a $100 million class action lawsuit instead.
Biggest misconception about your involvement in Fyre Festival?
Is that I committed a crime.
Number 2, Charlie Sheen. By 2010, 2.5 Men was proving so popular that Charlie Sheen was earning nearly $2 million per episode. However, his personal life wasn't nearly as triumphant. Sheen was well known for his substance abuse and reckless behavior, especially with the latter allegedly aimed towards his then-wife, Brooke Muller, and the trashing of a hotel suite.
Oh, gee, Charlie, that may not be the best idea.
I don't recall asking for your opinion.
He was eventually dismissed from 2.5 Men, and while the resulting press put him in the news, the termination effectively killed his career. Sheen attempted to come back with roles in Scary Movie 5 and a show called Anger Management, and while the latter ran for 100 episodes, it received poor reviews. The comeback was a fail, and Sheen hasn't been seen in movies or TV since 2017.
All right, let's just put this whole damn thing behind us. May the filth be with you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Roseanne Barr. Few comebacks have crashed and burned like this one. Barr's sitcom Roseanne was a huge hit throughout the 90s, remaining a top 4 show for 6 of its 9 seasons.
I'm sorry, what do you want me to do?
It came to a controversial end in 1997 with a divisive series finale. Luckily for fans, it was revived by ABC and brought back for a 10th season in 2018. It was actually a huge success, with the premiere episode generating nearly 20 million viewers.
What happened?
I thought you were dead.
It lasted all of 2 months. Barr made a racist comment on Twitter, which she proceeded to blame on Ambien. The show was immediately canceled amidst the controversy, as was Barr herself. She once again faded into irrelevancy, and everyone else moved on to the Connors without her.
I thought the bitch was white! God damn it!
Did we miss any celebrity comeback flops? Let us know in the comments.
If you had my love and I gave you all my trust, would you comfort me?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.